Hey guys, it's Kyle. I am back and I am re-recording this intro because the whole 30 seconds froze. So it's been a while since I've done a vlog, and so I'm just getting back online. And I've done some videos where we were traveling, but we've been busy. So I got a new job, and I work here at my house now. So I'm actually working at home, still doing tech support stuff. But anyway, so we recently traveled, took a 10-day break. Just my wife and I saved up some money, and we went overseas to Scotland, England, and France. We took 10 days, just my wife and I, and we traveled. We planned a trip, and we went. So it wasn't for anything special. We just saved up our money and didn't go into debt going on a trip, on a vacation. So, but anyway, we're back now. Luckily, because last week in London, exactly where we were standing, somebody went crazy, drove a car into a gate, and ended up 3 or 4 people ended up getting killed. So at least we're back. We didn't have to deal with that while we were there. So a couple things I want to talk about. I posted some videos, just of us out and about, and a couple weird things, So while we were, Edinburgh was great. I made it a point to use our credit card only while we were traveling, and that was simply I didn't want my check card to be stolen and people have access to my checking account. Well, unfortunately, on about day 3 or 4 while we were in Edinburgh, we got an email from our bank saying, oh, somebody's hacked your account, and we hadn't even used our card. Somebody here in the States actually got into our account somehow in Georgia. We live in Florida, so somebody in Georgia actually got into our account and took $1,000. So at least the bank was able to fix that, but it's kind of a pain in the butt because now we had to go back and fix everything, all of our bill pay, everything comes out everywhere. We had to fix it. So all that's fixed. But I want to talk about a couple things. So number one, when we were traveling, we had to convert our money in Scotland and London and Paris, and that was fine. No problem. I don't have a problem paying with euros, pesos, funny money. I don't care. When I was in the Navy, we called everything funny money. So, they had, when we were in Italy, there was the lira. When we were in France, there was something else. So now they're all on the euro. France won't take the pound. We found that out. I had like 10 pounds. $10 left in my pocket from London, and I was going to buy something in France, and I took it out. I was like, do you take this? And the guy was like, no, like rubbed his nose at me basically. So I was like, whatever. So, but a lot of places like cash, whereas in the States, you can pay for everything with credit card. I mean, down to a stick of gum. It doesn't matter because it's coming out of your account. So we don't really care where the money comes from. Over there, really the only issue I had was in Paris. Number one, I don't speak French, so we went somewhere, not knowing a language. But most places didn't want to take the credit card unless it was over like $10 of a charge. I'm like, but I want this little candy bar, or I want this little trinket for my kid. I don't want to spend $10 or $15. So they liked paying cash over. I mean, cash is great. I just don't carry cash because it gets me in trouble at the vending machines. I end up going to the vending machine or the soda machine all the time. So, I don't know why so many places don't accept credit cards. Although they'll take your credit card without an ID, and they just try to match up your signature. But they won't let your wife use your credit card. She has to use her own with her own name. So I don't know. Go figure. Some food. So I noticed when we were in these different countries, when I asked for bacon, what I got wasn't American bacon. What I got was ham, a thin sliced piece of ham that they fry. I didn't want a ham sandwich. I wanted thin sliced bacon from a pig, not a big slice of ham that I would put on a sandwich. Scrambled eggs. So a lot of places had eggs. It's pretty standard around the world that you eat eggs, unless you're a vegetarian, whatever. But they weren't scrambled all the way. They were like 3/4 of the way, so they were still kind of runny and still kind of whatever. I don't know what that's about. Not cooking your food all the way. And then beans. They like pork and beans, at least what we consider pork and beans, for breakfast. I don't know why, but they do. So, and then portion sizes, obviously. Here in America, for whatever reason, our portions are massive. I mean, you could order a Cobb salad at a restaurant, and you're thinking, I'm going to get a salad, and you get a freaking mountain of lettuce and eggs and all this other stuff. So, not really sure what that was about. So, just some of the food was different. We got rabbit at a restaurant. I had rabbit at a restaurant. We had escargot, or my wife had escargot because I'm not eating snails. I've tried them. Don't like it. Whatever, to each their own. On like the third day in London, so we're talking like day 6 out of the trip, my knee swelled up. And I don't know why. I mean, we just been walking everywhere. And, obviously we don't walk that much here in the States. Typically, if we need something, we have to drive to the location. Whereas in Scotland and London and France, if you wanted to go somewhere, you walk. So we were walking everywhere. I think we walked like 60 miles plus for our 10 days that we were there. But my knee swelled up. And so, it just got to the point where it's just ridiculous. Like I couldn't bend it for some reason. So we ended up going to a pharmacy in Paris, and I was like, can I get some naproxen? I needed an anti-inflammatory. I didn't need a painkiller. I needed an anti-inflammatory. And the pharmacist was like, well, we're in Paris. You're not in the U.S. You can't get that without a prescription. I'm like, it's just naproxen. It's not a big deal. I need anti-inflammatory. So they gave me some roll-on external numbing agent, and then they gave me, I don't even have the wrapper anymore. They gave me something with codeine in it for pain. I'm like, I don't need a painkiller. I mean, I'll take codeine, which is funny because you need a prescription here for codeine versus there. And naproxen is so standard. It's such a easy anti-inflammatory, but you couldn't get it. So it's just one of those weird things. Traveling, we noticed there, I love their train system and their tube system. I think the States could learn a thing or two from the transit system there. I live in Jacksonville, Florida, and the transit system is horrible. If I want to get on a bus near my house to go across town, I mean, it'll take an hour and a half, where, it might be a 5-minute drive. It'll take me forever because I have to stop at all these stops, go downtown, transfer buses, go over here, and it just doesn't make any sense. My city, I can tell you, we need some sort of rail system, either a subway system, and I know we're by the ocean, but if San Francisco and New York can have a subway system and they're at sea level, we can build a subway system here in Florida too. So we could definitely learn a thing. We just Ubered everywhere. I didn't have a car to have a driver's license or an international driving permit, as you can get for like $25. I didn't have one. We just drove, we just rode everywhere. And I kind of preferred walking. It was nice to get out and about. And I actually lost like 15 pounds walking the 10 days. Just walking. We walked everywhere. So that was kind of nice. But I'm back in the States, and I'm probably going to gain it back. I know with the walking, I did notice in a lot of the countries, in the 3 countries we were in, I saw like no fat children. Not many obese people, like adults. I mean, obviously I'm a bigger guy. I'm, 5'8", and I'm 230 pounds. When I was in the Navy, I was down at like 170. But that was, running like 2 miles every single day and working out and living in an engine room that was 100 degrees all the time. But 230 now is basically where I was in high school. When I was on the football team, I was a lineman, and I was about 220, 230 before boot camp, before the Navy. And so obviously I've been out of the Navy for 14, 15 years, something like that, which is aggravating kind of because next year would have been 20 years in the Navy and I could have retired. And I actually have friends who are getting ready to retire. So that's kind of an interesting dynamic to think about. They're getting ready to retire and I'm really just kicking off my career per se. But yeah, there weren't a lot of fat kids. I mean, anywhere we went walking and, going around, we really saw no kids that were overweight. Whereas here in the States, it's an issue. You know, we have a lot of kids that are overweight. My kids are not. We make sure that we stay active, and obviously, clearly, I'm not active enough to lose any weight. But you know, it's just I have issues losing weight. It's just the way it is. But our kids, you know, we make sure that they stay active, they eat right, and you know, we eat healthy. So that was it. You know, traveling, there are a lot of places that have music, you know, music on the train or music on cars or buses or the subway. And oddly enough, a lot of it was American music. So I would have thought, you know, being in Paris, we would have heard a lot of French music, a lot of French stations, but all the different Uber drivers that we had were all listening to American music. They don't tip. You know, we went out, we ate out every night, you know, where we were, and they don't tip there. So all of their stuff is built in. And I know it's an issue when they come here because they don't tip people. And, you know, tipping in the U.S. really got started way back during Prohibition, because what happened is all the restaurants and everywhere had alcohol. So you made decent money. Prohibition rolls around, and all of a sudden now half of your profits, you know, a huge chunk of your money is now illegal. So people would tip the waiters and waitresses to get them drinks. Alcohol became legal again, and tipping never went away because we have cheap business owners. Rightfully so. They are legitimately cheap. They should absolutely be paying these people a living wage. I don't know if $15 an hour to bring somebody my food is the way to go, but I know minimum wage is not enough these days to live. You can't have a house and a family living on minimum wage, let alone feed yourself, have a car, and have the necessities that you need just to get by. You know, you can't do it on minimum wage these days. I think minimum wage when I first got started was like $4.25 in high school. And I knew in high school, it's not a living wage. I lived with my parents. I was joining the military. It was a job to get by, to make some extra money, basically. So tipping, they you know, we tip here, you know, 10%, 15%, 20%, depending on your meal. I know I usually tip pretty well. If you give me good service, I tip better. If you're a crappy waitress or whatever, waiter, I don't tip as well. I always give something, though. There's never been a time when I've said this person was absolutely so horrible that they get no tip. So, but everything overseas, Scotland, London, and Paris, they don't have a built-in. You can see it right there on the receipt that it's built in. You know, there's a service tax or service tax, I think is what it was. So it was already built in. The other thing that we noticed was people, they don't seem as open as they are here. What do I mean by that? So when we're at the grocery store and you're in line and you see somebody with, you know, say a pack of hot dogs and buns and something like that, you might ask, hey, you know, are you having a barbecue this weekend? And yeah, you know, usually have some friendly banter back and forth. Yeah, I'm having a barbecue. It's 4th of July, you know, whatever. Or it's Memorial Day. Yeah, we're getting the family together. Whereas over there, you know, we really couldn't make small talk. So Scotland and London, you know, they speak English for the most part. We couldn't really make small talk with people. Hey, how you doing? And it kind of threw them off, because here, I mean, I have no problem talking to strangers. My kid thinks I'm a little weird because I will talk to anybody. It doesn't really matter. Because there's really no reason. I know, strangers, but how did you make your best friends? You know, where did your friends come from? At one point, those friends were strangers. So now, you know, friends that I don't have, that's basically what I consider strangers. They're just people I haven't met yet. So, you know, I talk to people. It's the best way to network. But over there, people really didn't talk to each other, and I don't really know why. So they were kind of closed off and more, it almost seemed more insecure or more held. I don't know. If you're watching this and you're over there, maybe you can tell us why you don't talk to people. So we went to Scotland and they speak English. We went to London, they speak English. We went to Paris, they do not speak English. Well, for the most part. I mean, obviously they're French. They speak French. So we did have a few times where we were trying to talk to somebody and trying to negotiate like pay to buy something, and they spoke in French. I don't speak French. I look like a deer lost in the headlights, and the guy is clearly not going to speak French, and the lady at Starbucks did not appreciate the fact that I spoke English and not French. So here's why. In France, you are covered, you know, you're surrounded by all these other countries. Your country, which I think is great, has to learn all these different languages. And the reason why is France is 248,000 square miles, roughly, give or take, 248,000 square miles. London or England is about 50,000 square miles. So you have France, Germany, Ireland, Scotland, Spain, Portugal, Amsterdam, Poland, Italy. You have all these countries around them. So these other countries, they learn all of these other languages intentionally. And so they consider Americans, oh, we're dumb because we don't learn these languages. Well, in America, we're surrounded by the Atlantic Ocean and the Pacific Ocean. Our country is 3.79 million square miles. I don't know what that is to metric, but to meters. 3.79 million square miles. We have 50 states. 50 states squished into that. In those 50 states, we all speak English. So we don't, hate to put it this way, we don't have to learn other languages. We choose to. You know, in high school, you can learn Spanish, French, German. You can learn all of these other languages. You can go to university, you can go to college and learn all of these other languages. And we should, you know, if we're going to visit France, we should learn French, and rightfully so. And I wasn't mad that the guy didn't speak English. I totally understood why he didn't speak English, because he doesn't have to. He's in France, and so he expects us to learn French to go visit him so that we can buy his crepes with Nutella on it, which is very weird, but my wife loved. So, you know, those were just a few things that I, you know, while we were traveling, some things that we noticed. You know, give me some feedback. Give me your thoughts. You know, where have you been? What are some of the weird things that you have run into? What's some of the weird food that you've run into? You know, when we were in London, I didn't get a chance to try spotted dick. I know it's food. It sounds so weird. I don't even know what it is. We were in France. We didn't try a lot of stuff. We didn't get to try a lot of stuff. We were only there for 3 days. 3 days in Scotland, 3 days in London, 3 days in Paris. It would have been nice to see a lot more, maybe some of the stuff out of Paris, some of the smaller cities and smaller towns, smaller historical places. But so that's just my thoughts on our travels. You know, let me know your thoughts. Where have you been? Where do you want to go? What do you expect? What have you seen? What have you had happen? You know, when I was in the Navy, I've been to 14 different countries. So I've seen a lot, I've experienced a lot, but it's just been a long time since I've traveled, you know. So that's all I got going on for today. I hope you guys like the vlog, and give me some feedback. And make sure you guys like, subscribe, comment, and share. And I will see you guys next time.